Hey, what's going on, world of social media-ites? Just making something up, whatever. I wanted to do a video briefly talking about the Miss America pageant. I caught the end of it, and I will say it was interesting to watch. I've never watched a Miss America pageant, and I don't know if it's always like that, but it's funny because it felt to me a lot like American Idol. And maybe that's where American Idol got it from, and maybe coming from an American Idol X Factor point of view, it seems like it's copying that. But probably they copied that the Miss America pageants to a degree. I don't know, the whole elimination process and the tap dance for your life process. I'm kidding, but it seemed like they got that from RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm kidding, but no, it was a very interesting competition. A lot of amazingly talented, a lot of beautiful. Everyone on it was beautiful. I'll say that, and everyone on it could have won. I will say this. It was interesting to get down to the question section because some of the people had really... Okay, so in the top five, I'll just speak it. In the top five, there were like 2 ethnic girls. And, I'm like, wow, that's a pretty big mix, like, wow, okay, cool. And... everybody's ethnic. It's. I say it tongue in cheek, as I'm sure most people say it tongue in cheek. Say an ethnic person. Everybody's ethnic, but whatever. People of color, I guess. And they got into the top 5, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And it came down to the question section, and I was like, I wonder who's going to take it on the question section. And the first ethnic girl had the first, not girl, they're women, they're young women. Ethnic young woman had the first question, young woman of color, whatever. She had the first question, and when she answered it, I was just like, okay, well, like, it just, I don't know, her answer just made no sense to me. It was just like, what? So I was like, okay, clearly that doesn't sound like a winning answer. I will say this, though. I'm not acting like it's easy to get up on that stage in front of thousands of people and perform like that. Like, they have to be on point with everything. And it is a performance. It's just that, Like, so I give them credit for that. And I'm not trying to, because sometimes people make it seem like when somebody messes up that, oh, they're just ditzy and a dumb, beauty queen or whatever. No, like that's tough. Like, that's tough competition. So anyway, first woman, like, her answer to the question was just like, what? And then some other people went and they had okay answers. And then the second woman of color went, and she was very well poised, and she was set up to give a wonderful answer until she threw in one word. And I'm sure the way people make it seem that they probably are like, she didn't even know what the word meant. And part of me, honestly, when I watched it, I was just like, no, honey, you tried to use a big word, but it wasn't in your vocabulary to use it, so you screwed up. But she actually, it might have just been nerves or whatever. She just sort of threw that word out there. But I was like, dang it, girl, you ain't, that ain't the answer to the question. Because she was talking about, they gave her the question of, how do you feel about the fact that weed has been legalized in certain states and it's not legal in other states? And she, like I said, she is very well spoken, and it started off as a great answer. And she was just like, well, I understand that some people need or can benefit from marijuana for medical uses, and I feel as though it's important that people be able to use it for medical uses, but only for medical uses, okay? It's important to not use it for silly uses. They should just use it for medical uses and recreational uses only. Thank you. And I was just like, oh, honey. And I know you know what the word recreational means. And after, I know as soon as she walked off that area, she was like, crap. To say use it for medical and recreational purposes. And she was so well poised for that answer, but honey, no. Recreational, we all know what the word recreational means. Recreational is like using it for fun, which is exactly what she said you shouldn't use it for. But, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, a lot of pressure on people and a lot of that. But Miss New York, who is the one who won, I was really, like, I was just impressed with her the whole time. Like I said, they're all beautiful women, and they're all talented, and they all work really, really hard, and I don't think we give them enough credit for the fact that it's not just some wake up and, oh, I'm pretty, so now I'm going to be Miss America sort of thing, and then I'm just going to go to Denny's for a value meal. Like, no, like, they put a lot of work into that. And she actually gave a great answer, and an answer that I actually agree with from a political standpoint. They asked her about guns, and they mentioned that a school is thinking about instituting having an armed security guard at the entrance to the school to make sure that the kids don't bring guns to school. And her answer, and she stated it very eloquently, and she said that she doesn't, she feels as though trying to stop violence with violence is not the answer, and that instead of doing that, what they should probably do is have gun use education classes, like for the kids, to teach them how to, I know that might sound crazy to some people, but I kind of agree with her in that it's like, kind of like sex education. Like, people feel as though if you start having sex education in school, it's going to make kids have sex that much sooner. But studies show that that's not the case at all. Actually, the kids who have sex education actually, I want to say they wait longer to have sex, or no, the kids who don't have sex education, they do wait longer, but statistically it's like they'll wait like 2 months longer than kids without sex education. But the difference is when kids have had sex education, they will use protection when they have sex, versus kids that have not had sex education, they will not use protection when they have sex. So they'll wait like 2 to 3 months longer on average than the kid that had sex education, but when they have it, they're going raw, which is not the way to go. You know, I know that, I'm sorry, that language is kind of tough, but they're going without protection, you know. So I kind of feel like the same could possibly be true for guns. You know, it's not one of those, oh, if you educate kids to use guns, they're all going to want to use guns. It's an issue of if you educate them correctly on how to use guns correctly, or gun safety is actually what she said, not how to use guns. Sorry. Gun safety. And if you teach kids how to be safe, then they'll not want to use the guns improperly. You know, like whatever age you can be when you have guns, when they grow up to be old enough to have guns, they'll not want to use them improperly because they've been educated to it. So it just makes sense. Anyway, all of that to say, I agree with her answer, and I see why she won. There's another good answer to a question, though. I think it was from Miss Wyoming. I don't remember the question right offhand, but she had actually a really good answer to the question. And, yeah. So Miss New York won, and it's funny because I don't often, I don't rep hard for New York or anything like that, because while I was born in New York City, I lived in upstate New York until I was like 13 years old. So like anybody who knows anything about New York City versus upstate New York knows it's like night and day. So it's not like I rep hard, like, oh, I'm from the Bronx, yo, blah, 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 blah. You know, like, no, I lived upstate. And then after that, I moved to New Orleans, Louisiana. And I love New Orleans, Louisiana, because I learned a lot about myself as a human being. Anyway, but I must admit, when Miss New York won, I was kind of like, and why? yes, New York, way to go, you know? So that was pretty cool. And like I said, you know, she was well poised and everything and answered the question well. And I think she was one of the other people who did the tap dance. And I remember I flipped back to the channel while she was doing her tap dance, and I remember getting all energized, like, yes, you better just tap dance. And she did it. Anyway, so all of that to say, I feel like she deserved it as much as anyone could deserve a prize like that. You know what I mean? So, like I said, they all worked hard, and you have to realize that it takes talent and skill and stick-to-itiveness, for lack of a better word, to actually even get to that competition, period. Because they had to win Miss their state first. So, like, that's a lot of work, you know? Anyway, so my granddad gave me a new photo, not a new photo, but an old photo of my mom and I when I was a little toddler. Actually, I was a baby. Like, it's funny because I don't look like a baby in the photo, but I was a little baby in the photo because it was April 7th, 1985. So that means I wouldn't have even been 2 years old. And this is, what is this event? At the circus. This is me and my beautiful mom at the circus. I wish it would focus. Focus. I don't know who that little girl is, but she's a little girl. And that's also my mom as a baby. But, why is it not going to focus this time? It's going to play me. It's trying to play me, you guys. Ugh. Let me see. I'm going to try to get in focus. 11 minutes. That's not bad. It's going to refuse to get into focus. Okay, whatever. But it's a photo of me and my beautiful mom. And I was like, let me show that photo of me and my beautiful mom, since I'm talking about beauty pageants and Miss America, because my mom could have been Miss America, I tell you. Because, like, honestly, I'm not going to lie. Like, my mom was beautiful and very well poised, very well spoken, and everything, and just always on point. Anyway, I'm going to try one more time to show you all that photo. If it doesn't go, then too bad for y'all. I'm kidding, not too bad for y'all, but oh well. It's just not showing. You see me in my little suit? I'm so mad. Like, it did it fine when I tested it in the beginning, but it's not. Oh well. Maybe that's one of those things that it's like, that should be kept for family, special thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, that's my review of that. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Be blessed.